Hi everyone, I'm Michelle, and I'm popping in today just to talk to you about my Five Little Ghosts runner project. Check the link in the caption for the latest information about the quilt-alongs I'm having for this project and others from my book, Not Your Typical Jelly Roll Quilts. This week I'm considering week 0 of the quilt-along. We're not cutting or sewing, we'll just be talking fabric pull. And in addition to the runner, we will be talking about the free expansion pack that comes with this project. It's something you can download. Again, check the link in the caption. It's free and it will tell you how to supersize your pattern, making it into a big throw. But first, let's go back to the runner. What I love about this pattern is that its fabric requirements are met by most people's stashes. It calls for 5 jelly roll strips for the ghosts and a background fabric. I used some white on white fabric for my ghosts that I had left over from other projects. They didn't work with the projects. I used the rest of the jelly rolls. But I really love it because it's a little unexpected, and here are these, little ghosts that are trying to be all spooky, but they're made with pretty floral fabric, which just I get a kick out of. Now you may say, well, I don't have any jelly roll strips to use. Well, then use either with the fabric cuts from yardage or cuts from fat quarters. I'll show you what I mean. This is the back of the quilt. Nothing exciting here, just a nice white background for the fabric I want to show you. As described on page 9 of Not Your Typical Jelly Roll Quilts, 2 strips, they're both 2.5-inch strips, from a fat quarter equal inch for inch a jelly roll strip. So for this particular pattern, it works that just 2 will get you all the pieces you need. Just start by cutting the longer pieces first. I think the longest rectangle you need for the ghosts is 2 inches by 8 inches. So I would start by cutting those first. With other patterns, sometimes you need a third cut from a fat quarter, but again, 2 will do you just fine with this pattern as long as you cut the largest pieces first. You might also be thinking, well, I don't have any Halloween fabric. Well, I don't think you need to use Halloween fabric. For example, here are some fat quarters of some modern prints from Zen Chic for Moda. I think these will look so cute as the ghosts, right? And then there's more going on with this line. This is from a line by Sherry and Chelsea. I can't remember the name of it, but they're another Moda designer. And even though kind of there's some darker colors, they're not as light as these. I think these would work as the ghosts, especially if you paired them with a solid background. I think you would get more of a cute autumnal feel as opposed to a spooky ghost feel. But I encourage you to go and look at what you have before you buy more fabric. Certainly don't buy a jelly roll if you're making the runner, which only requires 5 jelly roll strips. I am sewing the throw size quilt, and I want to show you the fabrics that I'm using. Now these are Halloween fabrics. The quilt differs from the runner in that it's written for jelly roll strips for the ghosts and fat quarters for the backgrounds. So I'm going to be focusing on the purples and pinks from this Hey Boo line from Lila Boutique. Now there are many other prints in the line that I just don't think are going to work for me. I'm going to use the greens in another project. I think these ghosts won't work for me only because I'm using this white on white for the ghosts. I am cutting from yardage, not from jelly rolls. Again, because that's what I have. And I'll talk a little bit more about this next week when we talk about cutting. But if you have 1.5 yards of fabric for the ghosts, you'll be able to cut all the pieces you need with yardage instead of jelly roll strips. In Not Your Typical Jelly Roll Quilts, I talk about different ways to supplement a jelly roll, and it really goes for supplementing any fabric collection. I like to look to a designer's other lines if I need, more of a certain color. And that's the case here. This heart pattern is from a different Lella Boutique line, and it's really close to the hot pink boo fabric. So I might end up cutting a block or two from this. It's the same print as the ghost fabric. And that's another hint that I talk about. It's just a good way to create cohesion with the fabrics you have on hand if you repeat a print in more than one colorway. So I can't wait to see how things turn out. I do have a few ghosts cut out and sewn already, and so you'll see how cute they look. Thanks so much for watching this video. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, contact me in the comments. Send me an email at frombolttobeauty@gmail.com. I would love to see what you're working on, both ghost-wise and otherwise. Thanks so much.